Hello. Welcome gamers, and by gamers I mean there's like one person here. Welcome Last Tabaka, welcome Stream Elements. What is this place? What is this place here? Yeah, where is everyone? They're all gone. Welcome Min Hattori, hello. This is England. Old Harry rocks, does he though? Does he really, Old Harry? Does anyone know Old Harry? It looks kind of cool though. Look at this. We got an island, perhaps. Not even like this is an island, I guess. I don't know. Could be fishing. Literally, you could be right here, perhaps, fishing on this coast. Or perhaps on this beach. I don't know. Anyway, quite the empty day today. We're gonna open up web fishing, because that is what I do on Wednesdays. And I don't know what to do today. Web fishing, you know, the usual. You ever think we have too much routine on this channel? And I'm always doing the same things constantly. I don't know. I got nothing else to do. Alright, let's do unlisted, request to join, manual, and this here. Okay, hold on, we gotta move all the things around. We gotta shrinken this thing. Shrinking, that's not a word, isn't it? It's just shrink, right? Shrinking, it's not really a thing. And then, okay, and then you get the lobby code. Whoa, 3 Qs? That's never happened. It literally never happens. Okay, pin that one. Manually unpin this one. Okay. Let me check, make sure that Discord, you know, sometimes the bot on Discord breaks. No, it's fine. It worked perfectly fine. Everyone's just busy. They're like, ah, it's Wednesday, I got stuff to do. Can't be fishing, you know? Can't be doing the same thing every week. Just out here web fishing constantly. It's not even, no one even plays this game. Anyway, I'm pretty tired today. As you can tell from the title of the stream. The stream title is "But I Am Tired." This is a reference to a classic Flash cartoon, I guess. I don't know what to call them. A Flash cartoon from back in the day. There's like, they're French and then they say, "But I am tired." There was more to it. I don't remember anything really about it. That was the only real thing. But that was a thing that happened. I was quite tired today. I don't know why that is. I've been like pretty tired the past few days. I imagine maybe I'm playing too much Uma Musume. You know, because like usually when I'm like on my computer, I'm just like passively consuming content, you know? I'm just like watching a stream or like a YouTube video. Since I've been playing Uma Musume, it's a lot of like, you know, you gotta make decisions, you gotta like click on buttons, you gotta be thinking about, you know, what skills you want to buy. It's like, you know, it makes you tired. It makes you use your brain more than usual. And then I'm playing it, you know. I don't know. It's fun though. I don't know what else to say. I was so tired that today, I do work from home on Wednesdays. So I was tired. And I just like laid down at like 3 p.m. I just laid down. I didn't sleep. I just laid down. There were like some documents I had to read for work, and I was like, okay, instead of reading it at my laptop, what if I just install Google Docs on my phone, and then just open the doc there, and then just read it while lying down? And I did that, and it was, you know, I was quite tired. I don't know. That's just how it is. Sometimes, you know, I considered also having the stream title be like, I'm EP. But then it's like, man, that's who even says they're EP anymore? Is anyone here even EP anymore? And by anyone here, I mean like the 2 viewers, the 2 people watching this stream. Where is everyone, huh? What's the deal? There's usually at least like 3 people here. What's the deal, huh? Was everyone like, you know, they were surprised by the news? They were like, what the heck? V Shoujo has imploded and also Nimi Nightmare's getting married? I can't be watching this, I gotta do other stuff. I gotta live my life knowing these two things occurred on the same day. You're not EP, but why? Have you all been getting adequate sleep lately? I feel like I've been sleeping well. You know, so there's been times when I would go to bed and then like I can't fall asleep until like an hour or an hour and a half after I go to bed. But like these past few days, I've been sleeping like almost immediately. I would go to bed and like I can check my like sleep tracking app on my phone. You know, because I have an Apple Watch, it tells me when I fell asleep. And it's been earlier than usual. You know, it's like 1:30. I know it's pretty late to some people. Some people, they sleep like really early. Me, I go to bed, you know, around like 12:45, perhaps 1. I usually don't actually fall asleep until like 1:30-ish. You know, these past few days, it's been pretty much like at like 1:20 or like 1:30, which is pretty good by my standards. I don't know about you all, but to me, that's pretty good sleep. And then, you know, I have a sleep goal that's set. And it's like when I sleep more than 8 hours, there's a notification that's like, hey, congrats on meeting your sleep sleep goals. You slept 8 hours. I'm like, whoa, that's nice. It is nice when I get to work from home because then I get to sleep in a bit more. And since most of the people that are on my team are West Coast, it doesn't really matter if I sleep in because they're not even around. So it's not like they'd be pinging me like, hey, you should check out this pull request, blah, blah, blah. They're not even online until like noon Eastern time. So that's fine. I mean, I don't sleep until noon because that would be absurd. Anyone here sleep until noon? I always feel bad when I sleep in late. Like if I ever sleep past noon, I feel like I've wasted my day. Also, welcome Defins, hello. Welcome Elit Shen. No more sleep. What are you grinding on though? Also, where are you all coming from? We got 2 first-time chatters today. Like, what's the deal? I usually get no first-time chatters. There's usually no one new ever shows up. It's always the same people. Now we got new people? How is that even possible? We don't even know. You're West Coast. Some may even say Best Coast, but you know, not me, because I'm not from that coast. But it does rhyme. I'm sorry for not being a new chatter. Everyone should be a new chatter. If you've been here for years, you should consider being new, but also not being new. You should be new and also old at the same time somehow. What if we all pretended we were new here? Everyone who's watched many streams just be like, hey, well, a new chatter here. Can't wait to, what did new chatter say? I don't know. Can't wait to have a fun time participating in this community of this new streamer that I found. And I will stick around for several years. Yep. That's the thing. That is in fact one of the things. I don't know, what am I should be fishing, huh? I've just been walking around. I feel like I do this. Oh, didn't we like didn't we decide to have like a new fishing spot? I feel like my default location is to always go into this lake. But you know, I have ocean fish that I need to catch. So perhaps we should go here. And by we, I mean I, because no one else is joining. This game is dead. Literally no one plays this game. Hi, guy. New chatter. Thank you. Thank you for agreeing to be here for several years. I know it's quite a commitment, but you know, I think that perhaps it's worth it. Maybe not for you, but for me, you know. Have you considered my opinions, huh? Welcome to my... Why do I have A typed in the chat box? I just had this typed in for some reason. I don't know why. I just looked over and I said, oh, look at that. That's it's in the chat box. Does anyone do that? Is anyone doing that stuff? Oh, the fish disappeared. I don't know. You know, maybe people found me from the Uma Musume stream. You know, we did have some new chatters from there. And then they're like, oh man, this guy's streaming, he's playing Uma Musume, I know that game, I gotta join. And then never show up again, you know, because that's what category viewers are. They will only show up if you're playing the game that they're interested in. As soon as you do anything else, they're like, ah, oh, this is not that game, I'm out of here. Which is understandable, you know, because like, you got different people have different interests in games, and if they're not playing the game, then you can find another streamer who is. But you got other, you know, they're just out there watching. I don't know what I'm saying at this point. I'm kind of just like talking. That's what I do on Wednesdays. Anyone getting bored of their routine? Are you anyone out there thinking like, man, I do the same stuff all the time, I should really mix it up someday and do something different? Nope. Nope, not at all. I'm totally content to do the same thing every week, and I feel like that's gonna be my downfall. I feel like 20 years from now, I'll be doing the same thing and I'll be like, maybe I should have done something else, I don't know. But like, what would I even do? I don't even know. No one even really knows, you know? We're all just out here just doing the same thing. It's comfortable and relaxing. Doing new things requires broadening your horizons and thinking of ways to improve. And yet, is there even any way to improve? I don't think so. There's one player attempting to join. That is Namai right there. Stream on Tuesday, but I have work on Tuesday. I mean, I have work many days, including today, but I mean, I have to be in the office on Tuesday. I can't be streaming in the office. That's crazy. Imagine streaming from the office. I used a sick day today. Were you sick? Are you sick right now? Or perhaps you were affected by the news of recent event, the news from recent events. You were shocked. You were like, I can't believe V Shoujo is disbanding. I gotta call in sick to process this news. I just couldn't do it today. I thought, you know, I was also quite tired. I could have been like, hey, I'm not feeling well, I'm just gonna sign off today. But I didn't. Instead, I just listened to Northern Lions stream and did not get that much work done, but that's fine. It's fine. I remember when Wolfie streamed every weekday. I remember that. It's actually, it surprises me that I was able to do that. Because, you know, as someone who has a full-time job, you think of like other VTubers that also have full-time jobs, they usually don't stream literally every day. I stream like 6 times a week. That's like actually absurd that I was able to do that. That's more than some people that don't even have full-time jobs. Although granted, I do, you know, I did only really stream 3 hours. You know, many other streamers, they're streaming for like 4 to like 12 hours, which I think is a bit excessive. But you know, they're able to do things. They're out there accomplishing their goals, perhaps. But maybe not, I don't know. But yeah, we're out here. Just out here fishing, you know? Interact. Press E to interact. But what if I don't? Doesn't this guy kind of look like Steve from Blue's Clues somehow? I don't know what it is. There's something about him. Kind of reminds me of Steve from Blue's Clues. Am I losing my mind? Let's look at Steve from Blue's Clues. Specifically the bald version from when he was. Yeah, this guy. Doesn't this guy? He kind of look like? I can't alt tab properly. Doesn't this guy kind of look like this guy? If you think about it. What the heck? What is this website? It's literally him. That's literally Steven. Steven from Blue's Clues. He's bald now. What was swapping around the fishing game? I don't know though. I guess I could. But then I would have to like find another game, you know? I'd have to be like, today we're playing, you know, I don't know, what are some other fishing games? Fish Simulator. Not catch and release. Not even anything. Literally nothing. Animal Crossing. Oh, you know, I could consider playing Animal Crossing. I could do fishing in Animal Crossing. That's a thing. What if I did Animal Crossing fishing? That also has multiplayer. I could open like an Animal Crossing lobby, and then, you know, we could have people like boot up Animal Crossing, and, you know, they would show up in the game. It could also be a collaborative experience. Just all out there fishing. Speaking about fishing games, your streams broke me. I'm going to pitch my dev friend to make a small fishing game. Are you gonna do the art for it? What kind of fishing game? What is the goal of the fishing game? I've kind of like lost motivation on that game because like I don't really know what I'm doing with it. Just like I just don't know. Rope physics. I feel like I got too caught up in getting the rope physics to work, and like it's still a bit janky. It's kind of like, I don't know. I just don't know. Art in GD, like Godot script? Or is GD something else? Good direction. Art and gold. Gold. Oh, game design. Okay. What is the idea though? Is it going to be multiplayer? It's probably not going to be multiplayer. That's a complex challenge. To make a multiplayer game is pretty hard. As someone who has never done it before, I'm like, that seems pretty hard. Online collaborative multiplayer. Let me put that in my notes though. Animal Crossing, I could do Animal Crossing fishing. Miscellaneous. To do. Consider Animal Crossing. Let's say Animal Crossing fishing. You posted a link based on this. Yes, you posted a link to a tweet. This tweet specifically, that looks quite good. It looks quite appealing. It's got a good aesthetic to it. I think that would be a good game. You could consider doing it. I think that would be fun. You could also fish in Minecraft. That is true, but then I would need to like set up a Minecraft server. Or just do single player, but I feel like that's boring. I don't know. And bust out the old Switch for that. Yeah, I think it'd be cool. I mean, this is pretty much like Animal Crossing, right? A lot of people when this game first came out, they were like, this is Animal Crossing if it was good. Which is also partially true. It does have some similarities in the aesthetic style. The fact that there are animals that can fish. People could also catch bugs and stuff. True. Actually true. Literally a true event. A true thing that could happen. I remember, I feel like... I don't remember if this was New Horizons. I think it was during the 3DS era. I remember spending a lot of time when that game first came out doing like fishing. Like fishing for sharks specifically in New Leaf online with my friends. We would just like run around, catch sharks and things like that. Was it New Leaf or was it New Horizons? I believe it was New Leaf. Actually, it was Chenna. Actually, do I have that in my journal? I probably do. I could find out how long ago it was, because I do keep track of things in my journal. Let's take a look. New Leaf is the best one. I think it's a good one. Let me look up Animal Crossing. Animal Crossing. Let's see. When was this? Oh, I took notes on a bear. When I found the bear. VR fishing. Where? Okay, Animal Crossing tag. And then I scrolled and we had many notes on Animal Crossing. New Horizons does have islands where you can catch a lot of sharks and tarantulas. I'm not sure if they're multiplayer. Yeah, I don't think those are. They really like messed up when they didn't make Animal Crossing multiplayer that good. They don't even have like mini games. I remember Animal Crossing New Leaf. They had Club Tortimer. Actually, wait, it's literally, I had an Animal Crossing blog. I remember this. Well, I forgot. I can look it up right now. Wolfcrossing.tumblr. How do I search? How do I search a Tumblr? How to search? Is that allowed? Isn't there usually like a search box built in here? Search and filtering basics? How do I search my Tumblr? What if I go to tag? It's probably tagged. Tagged, I believe it was Chenna. Okay, this was back in the day. Shark. We would be fishing. There's a lot of stuff back here. I think one of the first streams I saw of you was Animal Crossing. Perhaps. When this, how long ago was this? This was, they don't put the year. They say it posted at 4:39 p.m., but like, what is the year? Why does Tumblr do this? Permalink? June 2013. That was literally like 12 years ago. Yes, she does have a new web store. You can purchase things from her store. This was quite some time ago. Fishing. We were out there fishing. Where's the fishing? Huh? Where even is the fishing? I don't know. It was somewhere. Oh, this is it. Is this it? This is when we were fishing. Yes, I visited the town. I caught a human. When did that happen? Oh, it had diving, right? Wait, it didn't have diving. How did this happen? How was she? Was there diving in New Leaf? Oh no, there was, right? Wasn't there like a diving? No, that wasn't. You could swim. Could you swim in New Leaf? It's been so long. I don't think so. Thanks for clapping. Swimming? Oh no, it was a new leaf. Wait. Swimming is a feature in New Leaf. Oh, it was there, and it was there originally. It wasn't in New Horizons, and then they added it. It's been so long, I just don't remember. You can dive. True. True. Yeah, good times. Good times back here. Remember this? Is there a fan-made online for 3DS? I don't know. Maybe. Probably. Anyway, good times back here. Good times. Remembering the good times we had fishing in Animal Crossing. But now we're doing web fishing. Yep. Welcome, Stoop Elder. Are they biting? I honestly have not been paying attention. They might be. I don't know. I feel like when I play this game, I don't really think about the game at all. Like, what's happening on screen is literally like background noise at this point. I saw there's a deluxe version of GameCube Animal Crossing with some stuff added. Bringing in the special e-reader stuff. Dang. You know, I can't even talk. I have had a lot of good times with the GameCube Animal Crossing. That was actually one of my first GameCube games. I believe it was like, I think Smash Bros might have been my first one, and then Animal Crossing. But it was fun. We had good times playing that game. They had hills. Remember when they had like hills? And then when they introduced Wild World, the world was just like flat. They had no hills anymore. They actually, New Leaf also didn't really have hills. It wasn't until New Horizons that they brought hills back. They had different levels of terrain. I got a GameCube because of Animal Crossing. It was one of the goated games. It was good times. Actually, I don't know. Actually, I remember the Animal Crossing on GameCube. It came with its own memory card. Because it was a lot more memory intensive. Or like it used up a lot more storage than other games. And so they were just like, yeah, here's just one. You can just have it. It had like the furniture leaf on it. Now it's fun. I remember when I booted up that game and Rover showed up. Rover was like the cat. And I was like, what the heck? A dog? Sorry, isn't Rover usually a dog's name? I can't believe they have a cat named Rover. Welcome, Zoe. Semifinals? What? What is he talking? Thank you for the 30 months though. What are you talking about? Semifinals? Semifinals? Uma Musume reference? The Ura finale semifinals? Whoa. Where is my other message? I don't even see it. It doesn't exist. What was your other message? Semifinals? I just don't know. No one even knows nowadays. When you ask people if they know, they definitely do not know. The finale. I was talking about how the German women's soccer team lost in the semifinals of the EU Championship. Do you watch soccer regularly? Are you aware of soccer? No, and then but why is it relevant then? You're like, oh no, they lost the thing. Oh, I see. Your dad was watching it. Does he watch it often? Sports. Me when I see sport. Whoa, it's like Uma Musume. They're running around. It's literally Uma Musume, but with humans. And instead of racing, it's they kick a ball around. Wait, you know how there's like, isn't there like a polo sport with horses? What if they had this, but with like anime? what if they had this, but it was like Uma Musume? They could do that. They could have. Are these horses known? Do they have like names, or are they just like replaceable? They're like, oh look, we got I don't know, Cyber Monday and and Black Friday and something Tuesday right there. They probably don't have names, huh? I mean, they probably do have names, but they're probably not known besides to the trainers. Welcome Infinite Zero and Hamp. 4th of July. That was so long ago, though. That was actually forever ago. Man, you think about when the next holiday is. When is the next major US holiday? When is that? US holidays. Thanksgiving. Oh, that's so long though. You're telling me there's nothing between. No, there's like, isn't there like Labor Day? Isn't that like in September? I mean like a holiday that we have time off for. Also, welcome Lots of Butts. Holidays coming up. I mean like real like public holidays and non-working days. Labor Day I don't consider a holiday. Yeah, I mean like a day that we have off. Excuse me, where's the days? Where's the days? Hello? Public holiday. Okay, there they are. The next one's in September. Columbus Day, Veterans Day, Thanksgiving. Got like 2 whole months until the next major US holiday. Welcome Pork Foo. A lot of people get Labor Day off, yes, but I think Infinite Zero understood it as like a day that people actually celebrated, rather than just like a day that people don't really care about, but they happen to have the day off. The US is 2 weeks to have Labor Day on the 1st of May, because that would be May Day. Because if we had Labor Day in May, we would have no public holidays between July and October. And May, we already have Memorial Day. It would be too stacked. You gotta have Labor Day in a way that, you know, is between these days. It's how they prevent solidarity, by making it different days. So true. That's how they get you. That's, you know, that's them trying to bring us down. What if we all just celebrated every holiday from every country, despite not living in it? You could be like, oh look, it's like Malaysia Day or something. I can't work on Malaysia Day. And they're like, are you Malaysian? No, but like, you know, we gotta be united. Welcome Nutritious. I got a NanoDan sub. I have to type it manually. Yeah, that happens to me whenever I get a gifted sub. I cannot type some emotes. Convenient. Oh, it's a big fish. Big whale. That's a pretty small whale relative to other whales, but it is a big fish in general. It is quite large relative to many other fish that one may catch in this ocean. Whoa, what the heck? What? I was not trying to show off, I just happened to get it. I want to celebrate all the Asian holidays. Golden Week. Golden Week, other Golden Week. Tomb Sweeping Day, Dragon Boat Festival. Yeah, Dragon D's. Got 'em, haha. And by D's, let's just say the boat. festival. Yep. Why am I tired? Because of Uma Musume. You should have been here. I was talking about it. Literally no one was here at the start of the stream. It was just like Stream Elements and Last Abaka. We were like, where is everyone? Where the frick is everyone today? There's usually at least 3 people here. And I was talking, I explained so many things. I was like, oh, I'm tired because of this. Did you hear the news about the V-Shoujos and the Nimi Nightmare marriage or whatever? I did not actually really say anything about them besides that they existed. But I did mention them. The what? The events. The recent events that occurred yesterday and the day before. Your Oshi is getting married. Is Nimi Nightmare your Oshi? If she's your Oshi, you would have known. You would have known this. Is she really your Oshi if you were not aware until this stream? Fake fan doesn't even know about her getting married. You were a busy fan. Then you're not a real fan. You can't be a real fan unless you follow literally every single second of everything they do. You watch every stream. You know, if you don't watch a stream, you catch all the VODs. You gotta like, I don't know, what do people do? Purchase all the merch, all the member streams, follow all the tweets, send large amounts of money via super chats, etc. Oh, she sounds kind of wifed up lately. Oh, hey, I have news. I'm getting married by the unrelated. I'm getting married though. Haha. Just coincidentally, I thought you should know that I'm getting married. Just, you know, whatever, whenever the day is that she's getting married, I'm also not going to be streaming on that day. Just coincidentally, unrelated. I'm not actually getting married. Is me. People out here living their human lives really makes you think. So true. So true. Really causes you to think, you know, people out there are living their lives and there are so many things that we don't even know. You know, they choose to explain things to their viewers and, you know, they got their own private lives. Got things going out there you don't even know. Would you ever get married? I don't think I want to. I don't know. Probably, maybe eventually. Someday. But I'm like not actively looking, you know? There are some people and they're like, I gotta go, you know, on all the dating apps. I gotta blah blah blah, whatever. I don't know. I do not do that kind of stuff. You know, eventually, maybe. And if not, then whatever. It's also fine. Although, I feel like... Do you all get the thing where, like, your parents are like, when are you gonna get married or whatever, you know? And when you get older, your parents do ask stuff like that, and I'm just like, I don't know. I don't really know. Also, welcome Crazy LG. Wolfie was not into Nimi live streams because he spends the rest of his time with her, Choco J Nod. No, I don't even say those things. This might get clipped out of context and people will be like, what the? Wolfie said what? I can't believe that he would even joke about this. Don't they know that we are literally crying right now? Crazy. You're currently at, are you looking for jobs? Oh, that's also a thing. I do know some people where their parents are often asking them, like, when are you getting a job? When are you blah blah blah? When are you moving out? Whatever. Stuff like that. Sonder, but I hardly know her. Sonder? When did I say Sonder? What is Sonder? Sonder? That does happen to me. My sister even tried to set me up with someone. Actually, that also happens with me. It's like when my uncle and like farther relatives, what's the word for it? More distant relatives than my immediate family. They're like, when are you getting married? Would you like me to set you up with someone? I'm always like, no, please no. That would be so weird. Your parents stopped asking? They're about to start asking, maybe? How can you tell, though? Are you like... Are they hinting at it? They're like, hey, about the significant other. What's your opinions on people? What's your opinions on women or men or whatever? If someone set me up and I like the person, I would be down. Honestly, nothing worse than looking. Yeah, I don't know. It feels, I don't know. It's just a bit strange to me. Although that is how it works usually. It's not actually strange because, you know, that is how people before dating apps, that's how they were set up. Is that it was a referral-based system. They'd be like, I know this person. And you go, okay, I guess, I don't know. It was awkward AF for you. Did you actually meet up with them though? Someone setting you up is literally a free gacha pull. Is it though? Is it though? There's also a betting habit. It's like when you do a 10 pull and you're guaranteed at least, yeah, like 2-star. Except instead of a 10 pull, it's the SR guaranteed free ticket, maybe. I don't know. That they give you promotionally sometimes. Apologies for maintenance. We have a free 2-star guaranteed SR ticket that you can redeem in your inbox. Let's see, my mom tried setting me up on a date with a girl who was moving across the stage. Oh, sorry, why did I read that as stage? State. That makes more sense. Moving across the stage, what does that mean? State. I don't know. But then what happened? I'm going to assume it didn't happen. That you were like, she's literally moving. What the heck is this song? Have I heard this song before? It seems new. No, I've heard this. She was trying to escape. She was like, oh shoot, yeah, no, I don't think it's happening. You took your dad's keys, you better bring them back. Sonder means realizing that other people are also living their own complex individual lives. Oh, that's what it was talking about. True, you know, a lot of things are like that. It's like one of those things where you're like, oh shoot, this person. It's like when one of your friends gets married or something. You're like, whoa, what the? They're like the same age or younger and they're getting married. They're already at this stage of their life where they're getting married and I'm just out here not doing that. It's like how Northern Line is only like 2 years older than me, I think. And yet, you know, he already has like a daughter. That's crazy. People that are about the same age have very different life experiences. And that, you know, there's things that they do that you don't even know about. What they do on stream is not the same as their life. And that's a thing you gotta consider. Is that some people we just don't know. What the heck was that sound? There's a meteor. Oh, okay, that was from the game. I was like, what? Was that Sans Undertale? Do you want kids? I feel like I'm not at the moment in a good. What's the word for it? I don't think I would be capable of taking care of a child at this point in my life. It is also quite the personal question. I feel if you just said that in some other person's chat, they'd be like, what the frick, man? Also, welcome, ChocoJax. Like, what the frick are you talking about? What are they even saying? Just don't know. I mean, it is a relevant question because Nimi Nightmare did say, we were talking about that she did say she's getting married and would like to start a family, you know? That implies having children, perhaps, you know, adopting or birthing. Hey, who drew this? Dancing. I'm at the point in life where adding a kid is probably irresponsible. Yeah, I don't think I'm like capable of doing that, at least at the moment. I feel like no one ever feels ready to have children. No, there's definitely people that do feel ready. They're like so prepared. They do all the like reading about here's the daycare we're gonna go to, here's like, you know, the books on parenting, here's like, you know, the #1 kindergarten that you have to apply 10 years in advance for. Stuff like that. You usually don't raise a kid solo. Tell that to all the single parents out there, huh? That's a common occurrence. That is not necessarily... usually not. What if she's already pregnant? Well, I don't know. None of us have that information. Most likely. You have the financials and the housing. Yeah, but it's like... But what about the stream time? What about the time that I can spend watching streams, huh? Can't be. Well, I guess I don't know. Maybe you could probably. What if you had your child watch VTuber streams? You know, they could watch the Northern Lion streams with you, and then they could learn vocabulary. They could learn how to be funny. You know how, like, you know, they have people play like classical music because like it makes kids smarter, apparently. I don't know if that's true, but that's what some people think. What if you just like play Northern Lion streams, and then when your child grows up, they know all these things, and people ask them, how do you know like all these obscure movie facts? How do you know like the name of this actor? And they're like, yeah, my parents would just play Northern Lion streams, and he would often just play movie guessing games, and he would name all the actors, and I just picked up on that. That's crazy. My child is a classically trained streamer. So true, so true. That is a thing. It could happen. But it's like, I feel like a lot of times children, they will either, like, if both of their parents did something as a career, they either go into that career or they do the complete opposite because they're so tired of it. You know, like if both of your parents were like, you know, restaurant owners or something, you would grow up and be like, oh, when I grow up, I'm going to take over the restaurant, whatever. Or you would be like, I spent my entire life in this restaurant. I want to do something else. I want to be a streamer or something. Actually, that's like a common thing nowadays, right? Like when we were growing up, being like a content creator was not really like wasn't really like a thing that was possible, you know? The closest thing was like being an actor or like, I don't know, like a celebrity athlete or something. But then nowadays, people that are growing up, they're like, they know it's a viable option. They could be a YouTuber. They could be like a streamer. They could be, you know, a TikTok influencer or whatever. And so there's probably a lot of kids out there that are like, yeah, when I grow up, I want to be a YouTuber. I want to be like, I don't know, Mr. Beast or whatever. I want to be like Gargura. My parents became separated. The dad became a local actor. The mom was a landlord super. I was like, wow, that sucks. I'm going E. I know this probably means electrical engineering, but it'd be funny if this was just a sound. You're like, I'm going E. Hilarious. Welcome, Props Not Jack. It is possible. Doesn't really feel viable nowadays because there's so much competition. I mean, you know, they could make it work. Probably. I mean, statistically speaking, they probably won't make it work. But they could try. They could, in fact, try. E. I'm going E. E. We are, in fact, talking about children because of Nimi Nightmare. She has probably inspired many people to talk about marriage in the past day and a half. Actually, I saw a thread on Twitter of like a fan that was like upset. I don't know if it's upset is the right word, but it's like when they saw that their Oshi was like doing this stuff, they were like, what am I doing with my life? And then they were having like an existential crisis. And like the replies to the tweet were all like that. They were all like, I know what you're going through, man. I understand completely. What am I doing with my life? Ushered a new wave of age-appropriate topics upon the VTuber community. You're like, oh man, if she's getting married, what am I doing with my life? I'd prefer talking about this rather than a certain corporal implosion. I did mention that one like 3 times. They're so right to have that. I think it's reasonable. I feel like, you know, you would imagine a lot of people's response to be like, what the? She's getting married. I was supposed to get married to her because I'm parasocial and I totally expected that to happen. But the thing that's just like, you know, she's going about her life and I am not going about my life. I should change something. I think that's like a reasonable thing to think. Life goes on is scary. When you made Vacuous Quest, I was like, dang, I haven't been creative at all in months. Yeah, but then that's like the one game. Imagine that's the only game I ever make, because I found out making games is a lot of effort. But you know, yeah, you see some people that are working on things and you're like, I could do that, but I didn't. Why am I not doing this stuff? I just found out here that she's getting married. Well, now you know. Now you're aware. Glad to seems it has gone over well overall. Yeah, that's good. I feel like, you know, generally people are pretty supportive of things. The people that are not are probably going to leave eventually anyway. I did think, wait, why am I mildly disgruntled? Then realized that I wouldn't have that if I wouldn't have that if I happily had a partner. Were you disgruntled? Were you like, oh man, what am I doing with my life? The main takeaway is that it's easy to be complacent or sedentary, stuck in a routine. That's literally me. I started off this stream being like, I'm literally doing the same thing every week. Web fishing, we gotta change it up. We can't just be web fishing every Wednesday. Also, I should drink water. Speaking of routine, I should drink water because it is specifically 6 p.m. right now. Wow. Why would he do that? Why would bro do that to me? Gruntled? You were slightly disgruntled? What are you gonna do about it, huh? That's the question. What are you going to do? What is anyone going to do? Nothing. Surely the next fishing game is getting level 99 fishing in RuneScape. No, I decided we're probably gonna do Animal Crossing fishing, because that does have a multiplayer aspect. And you can be fishing in Animal Crossing. The main takeaway is that comparison is the thief of joy, and we are too often deceived instead of mastering the universal art of self-deception. So true. So true. We do, in fact, be deceiving ourselves of things. Has anyone else deceived themselves recently? Has anyone lied to themselves recently? You want a job? Nothing. You could, have you been applying? Is this your parents asking you? Hey, when are you gonna get a job? Hey, when are you doing this stuff? How's the job search going, huh? How's the job going? I have deceived myself by thinking I can do FPGA stuff. You could do it, probably. I believe in you. Today, you have applied to job today. That's good. It's good to be advancing toward goals. I did send 2 CVs today. Which companies specifically? Can you name the company and role specifically so that we can look it up and find out where you may possibly work in the future? Why do I do this? Why I'm just like, it's obviously a joke, but like, why do I do this? What is bro even doing? Can you reveal all of your personal information? It's a GmbH. That is commonly a thing over there. GmbH. A global monopoly branch of Hamburg. Obviously. For real, for real. Welcome to Teaspoon Sarah. Hello, hello. Hope you're doing well on this existential Wednesday, when we are all wondering what we're doing in life. You can't swim. I can swim, but actually no, I can't swim. You're right, I can't swim. I was going to say I can swim, but the cat can't, but I also can't swim. Sometimes wonder if I should just clear name on the internet to live like a separate life where no one knows you. Just like have a separate identity. Has anyone thought of doing that before? Has anyone been like, what if I just like, you know, abandon my current online persona and just like made up a new username, didn't tell anyone? Just started like doing stuff on a different name that no one knows. You all done that? I know what I'm doing in life, my best. That's good to hear. It's always good to try your best. The opposite? You mean like deleting your old identities? You mean like, I don't know. Go by Max Musterman? Like having a real name that's not your real name? Just using like a real sounding name as your username? A pen name? Exactly. I've considered doing it. A long time ago. I didn't actually do it. What if I did, though? I've done this sometimes. Code switching is relatively hard. I've seen many people that don't care and it's obvious what their alts are. So true. You're like, this is their alt account where they talk about other stuff that's unrelated, etc. Is it better to have many identities or just one? Well, if you think about it, don't we all have many identities? In our day-to-day life, aren't we simply just putting on a mask depending on the group of people? Depending on the circumstance, do we not all already have multiple? If your online persona is different from your real one, isn't that already a multiple identity? Let's see, I mean, knowing my clear name as my legal name, using my clear name as my legal name. What? I keep accidentally doxing myself on stream because I do risky things. This guy's just out there doxing himself. Just telling people where he lives. I don't think it's possible to have one identity because we exist as a different person to each person that knows us. We exist in many contexts. That's too deep. That is too true, though. It is so true. Identity is a very complex thing. Is it, though? Isn't the identity function the most simple function in functional programming, though? And yet, in real life, it is complex. It really makes you think. It really causes you to ponder really what it means to have an identity in our modern age. In this essay, I will talk about the digital age and the complex identity related something. Yes. Welcome, low effort. Caught any webs? No, I don't think there's any webs to catch in this game. Which is a bit strange given the title. Persona. However, in a corollary, one can presume that every different person we appear is still part of one identity. What if it's not, though? What if it was actually two people? What if... I don't know. What if I revealed that I'm actually two people? That I actually have a twin who sounds exactly the same, and we alternate when streaming, and no one for the past several years has been able to pick up on this? Wouldn't that be, like, surprising? Wouldn't that be crazy? It's like if Fuamoko revealed that they were actually one person somehow. But like the reverse. Two people inhabiting one body is still one, albeit shared identity. I don't know. You gotta think about it, you know? A lot of things out there you gotta think about. That is too complicated. Yeah, bow bow. Bow bow. Bow bow. What if Fuamoko revealed that they were getting married? Not to each other, but like to separate individuals. What if every VTuber revealed that they were actually about to get married? Wouldn't that be crazy? You're like, whoa, what the? You're telling me that everyone I watch is actually getting married and they, you know, I just did not know until Nimi Nightmare revealed that she was getting married and everyone was like, wait, if she can do it, I can tell everyone. And then she starts a new wave of marriage announcements. And they, instead of saying marriage announcement, they're going to say lore drop. That's the new meta. I got here, is Wolfie getting married? Yup, that is definitely really a thing that's happening. Yep, you may congratulate me right now. It's not true, by the way. Yeah, they found another set of twins. It's the Da Vinci twins. Da Vinci. Wasn't there a pair of identical twins that married another pair of identical twins? That has probably happened a lot in history. I would imagine so, yes. All VTubers are getting married? Not all of them. But many of them. Dozens. Perhaps even thousands. Billions. Billions even. And then we also say, oh, actually, I was also going to join VShojo. I actually passed the auditions, but actually, given recent events, it's not happening. That was the thing. Did you see that? Several streamers were like, I had actually passed the auditions many months ago. And I had signed various NDAs. But after recent events, I will no longer be joining, obviously. Berry Bug. And also, I think P-Uppy UFO was one of them. There was a third one. I don't really know the third one. But there was like a third person who was supposed to join. It's kind of similar to like how people were, back when Nijisandi was still like a reputable agency, there were like people that probably got accepted and joined the company, and then like all that stuff went down and they're like, oh frick, what am I gonna do now? I already signed the contract. I have to be here. It's crazy. Zoe said, one thing that calms me about Nimi announcing her marriage is that I feel very few people around my age online don't really want that and or kids. Wait, one thing calming is that I feel very few people don't want that and or kids. What do you mean? Welcome, Yurga. Very many people don't want that, or like don't want to be married. They stole money from a charity, true. Mint's situation. What happened? I saw Mint posted a video. I did not watch it because people in the comments said she was crying, and I was like, I don't know if I want to hear her cry. I don't really want to hear people be crying. Can someone summarize? I think she, from what I was aware, is that people... She did like a podcast with Matara, and then like they didn't actually pay her for that. Were there other stuff? I just don't know. Very many people don't want that, or kids. Fewer and fewer people want marriages and kids. I see. Yes. Perhaps that is true. It is a thing that I think is more common nowadays. How will VShojo recover? I don't think they will. I think they're pretty much dead. She was about to debut as an idol with a group of her own under VShojo. Oh, I didn't even... Oh, that's what it was about? Dang. I mean, I feel like Mint is doing pretty well, you know, on her own. Without the support of a corporation. I feel like nowadays people are probably going to be more skeptical of agencies. Of corporations, I mean. Because like there have been quite a few that used to be reputable. And after like the past year and a half or 2 years, many of them don't exist anymore. Or like, you know, a bunch of bad things happened. A group of Monster Girl idols? What the? I think all corpos are cringe and I will die on this hill. What? Even Wolfie Corp? the corporation that I was about to announce before VShojo imploded, and I'm just kidding, that's not happening. Even Wolfie Corp, the corporation run by me charitably from my own money, of which I'm the only member of, and will only be the only ever member of. No, think about the CEOs. Me. Welcome, Clarabelle. I think Hololive is still okay. I don't know, maybe. Wasn't there some stuff that happened where they like were not paying artists or something? I don't know. I vaguely remember like some kind of controversy. I don't really know. I honestly assumed that VShojo would probably let people vet their contracts. Apparently it was super messed up contract negotiations. Oh. I don't know. You never know nowadays. Corporations. Wolfie is creating a new group of video game creator VTubers. Yeah, Wolfie Corp. This whole life pay you for using your designs. They're not really my design. Or you mean like the small characters? No, it's like a one-time thing. I don't get paid for like any new merch or like any recurring usages. And I feel like that's pretty standard. Right, it's like the original artists were paid once, or recurring if they like continue to draw new outfits and stuff like that. But it's like, it's not like every time they release merch of the character that they have to pay the original artist, right? Unless like I actually drew it myself. But that would just be like a one-off thing. I'll say I keep seeing people vague posts about Holo on Discord. What are they even saying? What are they even talking about? Wolfie did make Ame's Twitch emotes. Yes, those are on Twitch as well as YouTube, back when she was on YouTube. Royalty agreements are negotiated, and if it ain't always negotiated. Well, what the? If it ain't always negotiated. What does that mean? Royalties? What about the royal other letters? Stuff like you wouldn't want to know in reply to stuff like, well, Holo is fine. Yeah, you could just say that like in general about anything. It's like, oh yeah, this thing's doing fine. And even if you don't know, you're just like, yeah, you don't want to know, dude. Bro, you don't even want to know. Me, when someone asks me how I'm doing, bro, you don't even want to know, man. Oh my god. The situation is crazy. Don't even ask me about it. Yeah, glad it was finally made public. You can just, every time something happens, like, oh, thank God, people finally know now. Me, when any VTuber announces anything. Glad it's public now. There's a non-zero chance they know, but what do I know? You would not believe the stuff that's going on. You would not even know. I think Holo does force talent to collab, and if they're risk averse, so they'll drop you, but drop you if you say anything political, but I can't think of any instance where they really messed up. You don't even want to know, dude. Bro, you don't even want to know. There are many non-zero chances you can ignore. Yo, like, what do I know, huh? What do I even know? Wild speculation. Bro, what about the situation, huh? I did know about some whole life stuff then. Actually, this was whatchamacallit? It was this is public information now. It was when remember that one what was their name? Omega Alpha Hololive. Remember this person who was like existed for like a few months and then never came back? Yeah, that was the manager. I I knew who it was because I communicated with them as a manager. But people didn't know. They didn't know who this was. And then it was revealed by Kiara that this was actually Enma, the EN manager that they played Left 4 Dead 2 with and is no longer with the company. I actually knew about that. Because she was the one who commissioned me a long time ago for the, I guess they, I don't actually know the gender. They commissioned me for the Hololive small models. And I was like, oh, I when I was posting about it, I was like, would I be able to say Enma contacted me? And they're like, no, please just say I forget what the name was. Do not say EN manager. Say something. I don't know. Welcome Isarugi Miyosama. Do not clip this. If this goes viral, they're like, Wolfie said what? Wolfie knew about the lore. Get this guy out of here. Oh, you don't even want to know, dude. You don't even want to know what's going on. And I did know that they left because they did not contact me. All the future communications came from different managers. And I was like, what happened to the first one? They're gone. They're not there anymore. I thought you managed it. Yeah, that's actually it. I was actually the manager. I fired them. Get them out of here. You don't even want to know. You don't even want to know. What if I just keep... What is that? What if that's my catchphrase now? Anytime someone asks anything, just say, bro, you don't even want to know. Oh man, the horrors. You don't even want to know what's going on. I guess the manager didn't really like streaming, but his cool Hololive gave them the opportunity. I don't think they were ever a streamer though. Wolfie revealed the truth. Wolfie said what? Wolfie is doing. Wolfie hates. Wolfie and his chat members, they hate corporations. What is he even doing? How far he has fallen. Literally, because he's jumping into the water all the time. Anyway, that was known information. Literally everyone knows this now. I should have posted like, oh, glad it's finally public now. I should have done that. I should have been like, oh, dang, people actually know now. Actually, also, wait, hold on. Can I find the tweet? When I called them a coward is because I knew who they were. From Wolfie. And then this one right here. This was banter. This was banter right here. Remember this one? Forgot what the original tweet was. This was response to something. Something that Omega Alpha tweeted. And I said, frickin' coward. Oh, this was about pineapple on pizza. This one. I'm not going to answer the pineapple on pizza question, and I said, coward. I would only be able to do this because I knew who they were. I was familiar with this person enough that I would be like, I can reply to this. Even though it's vague posted, I was wondering why she was vague posting. No one truly knows. Glad it's finally public now. I mean, if Holo didn't give staff the opportunity to stream, we wouldn't have... Oh yeah, wink wink, hint hint guys, we will definitely, everyone definitely knows this information. Imagine when people know things and they have to reference them subtly. Surely Surely. What's the deal? What are we doing here? Don't even want to know. What are we doing in life? How many Ians are retired? Let's see. Amelia Watson, Gargura, Moomin, Fauna, Sana, was there more? That's 5 of them. Were there other ones? Have there been other ones that I'm forgetting? Alright, well, okay, I was thinking of Holo Live Ian, but yes. In Holo Stars, we have Vesper Magni. Those two. They do exist. They did exist. What kind of tweet is everything comes to light eventually? Take care, friends? I don't know. It could mean literally anything. You could post that when nothing happened. Be like, I ate a sandwich today. Glad it's finally public. Bro, I ordered Subway. What ingredients do you get on it? You don't even want to know, dude. Bro, the situation is crazy. The Subway situation is crazy. I remember they got rid of one Australian streamer because she couldn't stream late enough. Sana was gotten rid of because of time zones. Do we actually know that though, or did she just leave because she didn't think streaming was her thing? It's mostly about V Shoujo considering the time. What if it was about Nimi Nightmare? Have you considered that? We just think it's about V Shoujo, but what if it was actually because she knew she was getting married? Aren't there EN holos in lots of crazy time zones? Yeah. Isn't it wild that they, like, when they first debuted, they tried really hard to make their time zone, like, secret information? Because, like, you know, when Holo JP was a thing, everyone's, like, in Japan, so it's, like, obvious they live in Japan. But then for, like, an international English-speaking audience, they were very careful to not even hint that they were in Eastern time or, like, Western time, so that people didn't know. And then, you know, people that lived in Canada, for a long time, they would, like, try to, like, not hint that they were from Canada, even though it was very obvious based on the things they referenced. They reference this thing that is very Canadian. And then they're like, what the? How do you know I was Canadian? I only talk about these very specific things that are localized to this place. See, if you can't get the US time zone as an EN streamer, you can't get the viewer base. No, I don't think they cared about the viewer base. They as in, like, the company. Like, you could have a lower view count than others. And, like, I don't think they would be like, you gotta get out of here. Maybe cause the downfall of Shoujo. No, can't say that stuff, man. Crony accidentally saying sorry. No, it was also like Kraft Dinner, you know, Kraft Dinner. We call it Kraft Mac and Cheese in the US. Kraft Dinner is a very Canadian thing. A bunch of other stuff like that. It's like, I think how, like, Rosami from Niji Sanji is also, like, Canadian, and she called, there's, like, a brand of corn dog that's called Pogos or something. And then she's like, she said Pogos and no one knew what she meant. And then people looked it up and it's like, oh, Pogo, that's like a Canadian corn dog. Right, it's a very Canadian thing. Pogo. That's Canada. Pogo State, no, Pogo corn dogs. Washroom, yeah, washroom. We say bathroom here or restroom. Round meal. Talking about bags of milk and how bad Tim Hortons is. Bagged milk. Also, thank you, Last Tabaka, for 3 months. Thank you. Remember when Crony talked about how great it was to live in a state with no rats? That was the real gotcha for me. I don't remember that. Because I do not actively watch many streams. Me when I don't watch streams. You don't even want to know, dude. You don't even want to know. Rats. Anyone jamming right now with the rats? Rat jams. Am I watching clips? Sometimes. I don't remember the last Hololive clip I watched. Actually, I wonder if I can find out. If I just check my watch history. What is the most recent Hololive clip that I have watched? Let's see. History. Let's see. Oh, it was about Ina playing Uma Musume. And she is removing followers that don't log in for some time. But she said if you set this as your title, she will not remove you. Unless it's like a month or something. I feel like the most recent clips I've watched were of Uma Musume. Like about about Ina talking about Uma Musume. If any of them mention hockey even once, there's an 80% chance they're Canadian. What if they were just like American and cared about hockey for some reason? I was watching some Nene clips the other day. What was she saying? How many fishermen do we have? 2? That's the 20%. Are there other countries that do hockey besides the US and Canada? What is that? I think my most recent holo clip was Crony saying something absolutely insane. Like what? What is she saying? Kyla did the same thing, removing followers that didn't log in every day. Even Northern Line did that. He had a stream where he would just log on and said, I'm removing people that have not logged in more than 2 days because I want people to use my horse and so I can get those friend points. Like, this guy is like so into the game right now. He's so addicted to Uma Musume. He even removed Chibli. You got Uma Poi with Bakushin. That was my first one that I won with. Actually, that was my first run even. True. Hockey is popular here. How popular? I need to add more trainers, probably join a club. I was looking at that. I was like, I should probably join a club because there are rewards at the end of each month. I didn't realize that you get, depending on the rank of your club, you would get some free pole currency. You can get some carrots. But you have to be in the club for more than 14 days. Which means if you join a club today, you would not get the rewards at the end of this month. But you gotta do it before midway of next month. And I was like, what if I started a club? But I'm like, I don't know if we have enough people that are playing the game consistently. I also noticed that Chocojax is not in a club in Uma Musume. I was like, what if she made a club? And then I just joined it because she probably has more people that are playing the game in her community that I can just leech off of their points. I mean, I'm contributing, you know. I have many plays per day. I think you can buy a special rod now that you got all the fish in the journal. I mean, I've always had all the fish. Well, that's not true. I just don't have all the rarities of fish. Do I need the game? Yes. But you would also need to play the game, because if you're in the club and you don't play the game, you are not contributing to the club goals and you will be kicked immediately. If you don't reach this amount of fans per month, you're getting kicked. If you are not contributing shoes to the shoe collection, you should not even be in the club. I don't watch Uma streams nowadays. Watch too many of the JPs play it when I first release them. Good. Yeah, but what if you played it though? What if you played it? People inviting me to emergency meeting. Can you reveal what the meeting was about? Can you dox them? Don't you hate when that happens? There's like times when I'm like watching a stream midday and then like something is like interesting is happening and I'm like, no, I can't watch the end of the stream because like I have a meeting. And then like the meeting is over and then I come back and the stream is over and I'm like, ah, dude, I missed all the content. And as someone who doesn't watch VODs, I'm not gonna watch like a 30-minute thing for what I missed. The FOMO. I feel like I don't feel too much FOMO nowadays. When I used to like watch a lot more corporate VTubers, I would watch the VODs. If I missed some things, I would watch the VODs of things that I missed. Nowadays, I feel like I don't care. I don't care enough. There's nothing so important that I have to watch the VOD for. I've been thinking of watching more VODs. But why though? Wednesdays I'm good. Live my Uma life vicariously. I don't need to play. But think about the numbers. Think about the horses, huh? Think about Haru Urara. Chocojack. I was just saying. I noticed you are not in a club in Umusume. Do you know that you get rewards at the end of every month if you're in a club? They include carrots, but you have to be in the club for more than 14 days. So this month we will not receive. I think you should make one because I'm also not in a club, and like you should make one so that I can join it, and then you can get other people that play the game, and then you can join it. You gotta do it. I was like, I could do it, but like, I don't know if we have enough people in the Wolfie community that are playing compared to your community. I don't know. You make that club, okay? And then you could be like, if you've not signed on in months, if you have not signed in a week, you get kicked from the club. You gotta contribute shoes to the shoe collection. You don't have to if you don't want to. Yeah, but think of the rewards. Think about the carrots we're missing out on. Think about the crown points or whatever. You could exchange those for the McQueen. The SSR McQueen in the shop. She will literally kick you in real life. That's crazy. That's crazy. Porkfu said, sort of, it was the logistics of this new thing we're launching. Supply chain was confused. PM was confused. They wanted engineers to set the record straight. Internal company information leaked on stream. Now we all know that supply chain team was confused and they needed clarification. You would not believe. You don't even want to know, dude. Don't even want to know. Anyway, good times. I still have a run ongoing. You know, yesterday I did some runs. I finally lost my second Uma Musume run. It was with, wait, who was it? King Halo. King Halo, she failed. Partially because I failed, but also her career is quite hard. A unique, bespoke situation never before experienced. Yeah, no company ever experiences confusion where managers are not aligned. We have a meeting to sync on this. Can we sync offline? Let me take this offline. Can we coordinate on the release schedule? Can we? I can move some one-on-ones around. Can I? Can I don't know. What do people say? Have you all seen that Krazam video? It's so funny. Krazam. So what's it? Value offline sync. What is it called? Does anyone know the one? Leadership sync. Does anyone know this video? It's so funny. I have to exit my VPN. I don't know if I can do that because I'm in a lobby right now. I think if I close my VPN to watch this video, it will close the lobby. But this video is funny. I would recommend watching this video. What if I open this? Is there a way for me to watch this without signing in? Or closing my VPN? I've been losing runs left and right because I'm using event support cards instead of actually useful cards. Kita-san Black is a useful event support card, as well as Nice Nature SR from the event. I've been using that. It's also a support card that has events. It's good. Can't your VPN split tunnel? I don't know. Oops. Also, welcome Guacamigo. It's a Wolfie, the cool Spanish-speaking red thing. Do I speak Spanish? I have not spoken Spanish in years. I studied Spanish in school because that was the only foreign language that we had in high school and middle school. But I have not spoken it in so long. I just realized that you need to use the event cards, and I realized it's so... You don't need to. You could, but you don't need to. I guess if your goal is to get all the event rewards, it does help. But I think I've gotten all of them. I think I've gotten... I even have the title. If you check my title right now, that's the title you get for getting all the event rewards. Also, I don't play enough to actually get the event rewards. I think the event reward from this event is like not that good, maybe. I mean, although I've been using the Nice Nature SR support card, I think it's pretty good. It's a fully limit broken SSR. Yeah, but it's like guts though. Is that even like a good card? I think the card from the previous event was a good one. The special week that was from the previous event, but that was before I started playing. I've been so addicted to the mobile Pokemon card game. I don't think I've ever seen anyone actually play the game. I've only seen people like do the gacha. Like pulling card packs. I think I've seen people play it on the train. On the subway. But they were also just like not actually like playing. They were just like looking at their cards. I've seen people play the game, it's alright. I have not seen it. You know what the messed up thing is about Uma Musume? Is that I can't really play it on the train a lot of the time. For multiple reasons. Not because I don't want people watching me play it, but because it requires an internet connection at all times. And because, you know, on the train, a lot of times it goes underground or the signal is not very good. So I'm just like staring at a waiting screen half the time. Whereas like Balatro, when I play Balatro on the train, it's possible because you don't need to be online for it. You don't get interrupted by loading screens. When I play Uma Musume, it's like, oh, waiting, connection. Oh, you're like underground now? Oh, you gotta wait. And then, you know, it takes up a lot of time. But there's also the thing where, like, you know, maybe you don't really want people to see you playing it. Because, you know, there's the anime girl stuff. That stuff doesn't bother me that much though. I watch a small streamer that plays it with viewers once a week. The Pokemon card game. That's cool. But what if they had a web fishing gacha game? What if they made web fishing a mobile game? I don't want to play Uma Musume, but Daiwa Scarlet is extremely cute. You could watch the anime. Have you watched the anime? I don't really know anything about the characters. Outside of like the things that I notice when I'm skipping all the dialogue. You know, I notice their their winning animation, they're losing it, their voice lines. But as far as like their lore and what motivates them and what their story is, I don't know anything about it. I think season 2 is worth it to watch in isolation. I feel like I probably will eventually watch the Uma Musume anime, but I don't know when that's going to be. Join the web fishing dev team. There's only one person on that team. It is a solo developer who has not been developing this game for months. I only know about the loser horse girl. You mean Haru Urara, who has not won a race in real life except that one that she did win, but it was after retirement? Season 3 is the kind of show you can watch when you feel a tad lost. What if we all feel lost, huh? What if we all are here and we're thinking, what am I doing? You're watching it right now. What about Special Week, huh? Welcome Red Riding Reaper. What's the deal with Special Week? What motivates her? Special Week is okay. Is she like generic Genki protagonist? The same personality as Uzuki from Idolmaster, perhaps? I have new appreciation for the carrot now that Nano likes her. Silence Suzuka. She is pretty Genki. Classic idol anime protagonist. That's usually my favorite type of protagonist. So I appreciate Special Week despite not really knowing her lore. Good times. Anime taking 20 minutes per episode. You can turn it on and watch it. Yeah, but then I would need to like watch anime instead of like watching streams. Now you could also be like, oh, but you can watch streams and anime at the same time. But can I do that and also play Uma Musume at the same time though? I don't think so. Group watch along? No. That's crazy. That's too much. Does anyone participate in watch-alongs on Discord? I know there are some like communities on Discord that they, you know, every few weeks or something they do like a watch-along of a movie or like whatever. I see those and I don't actually join. Rarely. It's a good motivation to watch something only if I have time or care enough. Yeah, I feel like I don't usually care enough to watch them. Sometimes not much nowadays after starting work. Sometimes. Because like all of the Discords that I'm in, I think Alyss, her Discord often has watch-alongs. Vacuously's Discord also pretty often has some watch-alongs. But like, I don't actually watch. What are they watching? I don't know. I don't actually pay attention. I could check. How do I check? What's in the channel? Community movies. Okay, in the VAC Discord they watched Luca, the Disney Pixar film that I don't think I've heard anyone talk about. Bunch of other movies that I don't know of. The Fox and the Hound, Pirates of the Caribbean, Turning Red, Jojo Rabbit, Fight Club, a bunch of stuff. I used to run them for Uni Club. What did you watch though? What if you did a VTuber watch along? Hey guys, today we're gonna watch the entirety of Mint Phantom's stream of Metal Gear something. All of the Metal Gears. The truth is I only watched things that I already wanted to watch anyway, but didn't yet, like Macross stuff. Did you have fun though? That's what matters. Clavio shared some kind of rare anime short films once. Also watched old The Thing TV specials. Dang. Actually, there was like a few watch-alongs that I did watch. I believe it was when Karagi first watched the Sonic movie, the first one. Although that wasn't on Discord, it was like on stream. I feel like when Amelia Watson used to stream, I think I did some watch-alongs. I remember watching, was it 7? 7? 7? I watched this one. A few times streamers would watch Promare. I think I saw 2 streamers watching this and I watched along. Good movie. Group watch along of Nanoplasm's edit of Mint Phantom playing Metal Gear. True. Promare I watched on Discord at some point. Yeah, that's a good one to watch. Ina Eurocamp Season 1 and 2. Did you watch that one? I remember she was doing those. No, I did not participate, but I did watch. Not on this. I have seen Eurocamp Seasons 1 and 2. Rewatch. Good times. Theorex. Unfortunately, I do not really know who you are. We have the thing on this stream where only people that I know can join. But thanks for stopping by though. It's only because I've had several issues with like hackers and people drawing inappropriate things. And my criteria is now much stricter than it should be. No, that's fine. You don't have to stick around. You could be like, he's what the webfishing? What am I even doing here? Yeah, trust has been ruined forever, unfortunately. Isn't it messed up, you know? The actions of a few can ruin everything. And everyone has to suffer the consequences. Inappropriate, yeah, someone drew questionable things. Quite questionable. Even when I specifically was like, hey, I'm gonna let you in, but just so you know, you are on watch because I don't know you. If you mess this up, you're gonna ruin my trust in everyone. And then they did, and then they did it. I was like, wow, all right. And that's messed up. And someone drew obscene stuff on top of someone else's nice art. Yeah, that happened. That was the day my trust has been eroded in society as a whole. What the heck? Eroded. Eroded. What is that emote? Starkey67 bonk. So true. Anyway, yeah, what are we talking about? What were we talking about? Watch-alongs? We were talking about watch-alongs. What was your favorite watch-along that you've done? I just don't know. Macross Plus. I feel like of all the watch-alongs that I've watched along with, probably the one that was most positive was the 7 one, because now I understand references. When people say, "What's in the box? What's in the box?" I know now because I watched the movie. I know what was in the box. And when that scene was relevant. Amelia Watson watched Blade Runner remake. That was fun. I feel like that would have been a good one to watch because, you know, Blade Runner, it does get referenced a lot. You know, the scene with it's like purplish and pink. And she's like, "You seem lonely." That's often a reference scene. Also, yeah, B-movie. I did participate in the B-movie watch-along. I did end up closing the movie because I was like, I can't watch this. It's actually like so bad I can't watch this. I watched all of Made in Abyss literally back to back, and also the movie in Razul's server. Oh, Razul. He's gonna be pinged. He's gonna be like, he's gonna show up and be like, "Hey, someone pinged me." I gotta check the chat now. And then he says wires. Oron High School was good, but I couldn't keep up with the weekly watch-alongs. True. I remember, I think like Elira Pandora, when she would stream a lot, she did like Hunter watch-alongs, and she like watched all of it. Maybe not all of it, but like a lot of it. It would be like 10 episodes per stream or something. It's crazy. Liars. Good times. Watch-alongs. I don't know. I don't even watch things nowadays. I just watch streams. I just watch YouTube videos and shorts. Movies and anime? Nah. This game is relaxing. It sure is. I'll ping your GD sister, Wolfie. What do you make me watch? What? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Oh, this thing? Yeah, this thing. Okay, yes. The Krazam leadership thing. You have to be like in the industry to understand this one. I wish I could show it on stream, but I have to turn off my VPN, but I can't. Yeah, we'll sync offline. We'll sync. We'll sync. We'll circle back on this one. It's a good video. Streams are good. Yeah, imagine watching streams. Anyone watch streams recently? Besides my stream, what was the most recent stream you've watched? I was watching Northernlion stream today. It was a good stream. He played several games that were definitely Balatro inspired. Sync offline. Never. He says never. Mint Death Stranding. What's a VTuber named Stall? I am aware of that VTuber. I actually followed the VTuber. I've not really watched too many of her streams. Mint Castella. I've seen a few people play Death Stranding recently. Like, is there a reason? Is it just because the second game is out, but then they were like, I'm gonna play the first game because I don't know the lore? I forgot Mint Phantom also played it. I also did not know that she played it. Me watching anime is positively correlated with my good mental health. So true, so true. Yeah, I know Alyssa's been playing Death Stranding recently. I kind of get that because my executive function is working better. I tend to use my free time actually doing things. What are we doing? By the way, I should drink water. It is 7 p.m. What is anyone even doing in life? Drinking water? You should be drinking water now. Alright. Hey, what the? Dark Souls 2 is only on PS5. Sorry, Dark Souls 2. Death Stranding 2 is only on PS5. That is true. That is true. When is the new Wolfie Plays Donkey Kong Bonanza? I don't have a Switch 2. And if I did, I don't know if I would buy that game. I know people have been playing it and having a good time. But I don't know if I would play it. If I use my free time having a good time watching anime, e.g. rather than doing nothing at all. That is true. Do you think 20 years from now, you would think, I sure am glad I watched all that anime? 20 years from now, man, I sure am glad I watch all these streams. I feel so fulfilled from having watched these streams. Streaming. Me, when I can't spend my free time having fun because of responsibilities. Man. When we have to deal with a life. Death Stranding 2. Mario Kart Tour. I do feel good about my consumption of GG collabs. What was the most recent one, huh? What was the most recent collab? For anime, yes. For streams, I don't know. I think I would categorize it in the same socializing niche I put League of Legends into. That feels insulting for some reason. To equate this to League of Legends. Imagine you went into a streamer's chat and said, whoa, the enjoyment I get from watching your stream is the same as when I play League of Legends. Bro. I feel like in some streams you would be banned. They would be like, that's a freaking insult. Get this guy out of here. It was like karaoke, but then CC arrived for fun. Classic. The classic CCGG. As people refer to them as Autofister. You have seen me talk about League though? Unfortunately, yes. I don't know why I'm so anti-League. I've never played it. I have no interest in playing it. Whenever anyone mentions League, I'm just instinctively like, League. I think it's because it's common to hate on it. I only hate on it because other people do it. It's just that common. I don't flame most people, only those that sap my motivation to play. And only invoice with my IRLs. League. More like illegal. It should be illegal. Illegal. Legends. I don't know. Autofister and Clockwork Orange collabs are fun. Which one is Clockwork Orange? I'm gonna assume Clock is Crony. What's the orange? If I flame you in chat, you must have typed first. Has anyone done so? GG? She is orange. I guess she is orange. I feel like when I think of orange Hololive members, the first one I think of is Kiara. She is like the most orange. Crony, CC, and GG. But she's not orange. She's green. Why would she be? Is she part of the work? Clock work orange because she works? I don't know. I just don't know. I'm like so out of the loop on like corporate VTuber stuff nowadays. She has some clockwork designs. Oh, okay. Clockwork. I sure hope it does. They do tend to do that, yes. What was I saying? I forget. What was I talking about? VTubers. Let's talk about VTubers. Bro's too busy game deving. I've not been game deving. I've not done game dev since last Friday. YouTube should add channel points to gamble with. Actually, you know, YouTube has like a chat ranking system that everyone seems to hate, which is understandable. They had a thing for like, here's your top chatters, and they rank them with points. And then I've seen several streamers be like, yeah, I know YouTube added this. I don't really like it. Can all my active chatters like opt out of it, please? And so if you check like any popular stream, the top chatters that are listed are just people that are not really like part of the community. Because they don't know that the streamer doesn't like the system. What? Yeah, it's real. I don't use YouTube chat enough to really know what it is. But I think there's like a tab now that shows like active chatters and like the number of points they have. I don't really know what it means by that. We should all do GMTK. I guess. When is that? When is that one? When is the next one, huh? 2025. August 3rd. And that is, wait, that's Sunday. Why would it be? Oh no, it's open. Okay, that's when it ends. July 30th. Wait, that's next week. That's Wednesday. It starts on Wednesday. I mean, I don't know. I could do it maybe. Swatch internet time? They should work on fixing the stream stability, eradicating bots, and fixing the broken copyright system. What are they doing, man? YouTube chat is not even good. Frick YouTube chat. Get out of there. You thought GMTK was a time zone? No, it's the Game Maker's Toolkit. This is the guy that made a wordplay, right? What the? itch.io. You have a new unread notification. A new post was created on the Vacuous Sugar Quest comment section. I gotta check it out right now. I gotta know what people are saying about Vacuous Sugar Quest. I love the art style, gameplay, storyline, everything. But am I stupid? How do I get the ability to glide to Sugar Mountain? Oh no, he doesn't know. He doesn't know about the bag of sugar. That means I would have to learn Godot in a week. You could use something else. You could use Pico 8. Pico 8's pretty easy. You could use I don't know what something else. I don't know. Man. Game dev is hard. You know, coming up with an idea. It's like, that's the hardest part for me. Like the implementation, I feel like I can implement many things. It's just like my lack of original ideas. I need like the motivation. Sure, I'm glad that I was like so motivated to work on Vacuous Sugar Quest though. What about the TTGJ Game Jam? What is it that? Welcome Warfish? Is that a D's Nuts joke? Got him. Make it in C? I don't think I will. I mean, I could make a game in Rust. I could... Is there a Bevy Game Jam? Bevy? There is. Bevy Jam when's the next one? It stands for the TTGJ Game Jam. I see. It's one of those recursive acronyms. It'd be easier if you goof around making some game mechanics first and then find something you want to build a game around. Yeah, I need like a mechanic. Because I feel like with Vacuous Sugar Quest it was easy. It was like, oh, you know, gliding. Streamer is going to be a sugar glider. You can do gliding. It's a simple one, you know, climbing, gliding, and then implement those. But like, I don't have like a similar idea for others. Nothing that really stands out to me. You know, even with the fishing game, I'm like, you know, there's fishing, but like, how do I make it interesting? There's like a billion other fishing games. I started implementing like, you know, fishing line physics. It's like a bit buggy sometimes. I don't know. I just don't know. Turn it into a rhythm game? No. That's why I feel like maybe I should make more Pico 8 games. Because like Pico 8, it's a lot more limited in scope. And it's like quicker to get something working. Because like, you know, the graphics, the sound, everything's in there. I mean, it doesn't have a lot of things like collision detection or like, I don't know, really anything. But like, you know, then it makes you think like, okay, how can I simplify this such that it's easy to implement? And then you just do it. And then it looks good enough, you know? You don't spend too much time thinking about the art because you can only have a limited number of colors and everything's like 8x8 or 16x16. And that's really what got me into game dev in the first place, was when I downloaded Pico 8. And I was like, whoa, these limitations are actually good. Because now I get used to making smaller sprites. I was so caught up in making larger pixel art, you know, if it wasn't for Pico 8, I probably would have started with like 16x16 or 32x32. And that's a bit overwhelming. Anyway, good times. Good times out here developing games. What if I developed a game right now? What if I were to open up Pico 8 and create a game literally right now? What if I made Flappy Bird? Or whatever, I don't know. What are we doing? Do it. But I would need an idea. Uma Musume, what if I did that? What if I did Uma Musume in Pico 8? You have horses, you can draw the horses, they can race, they can activate skills, you would implement, you could increase your stats. A lot of things you could do. You could do it right now. What if I did that, huh? Spent the rest of the stream making Uma Musume. But it was real horses. No, what if it was Haru Urara, huh? Here, we're gonna load uma.p8. Sorry, it doesn't exist. How do I save something? Save. Where do I have this stuff set? Where is this stuff even set up? Save uma.p8. Okay, we're gonna draw Haru Urara. We already have the perfect color for this. That's literally her right there. We have skin tone. We have this one. Got the eyes. Perhaps. How does this even work? Yo, that's literally her. That's literally her right there. Or perhaps it's actually this. Has anyone done combination of Uma Musume and horse game tasks? Probably. I would imagine that's a common thing. Looks like a Teletubby. You just don't understand. You just don't understand, man. Ah, the real horse. I would have imagined Uma Musume. There it is. Alright, so she has the headband. Obviously, right? She's got the red headband. And then the hair goes over it slightly. And then what? And then what? How do you even make this look good at such a small resolution? You can't. You simply can't. It's literally impossible. It's literally not even possible. Alright, then you have the that, and then you have this and that. I could do a drawing stream, but why would I do that? And then you got the tail, right? The tail. How would I tail that? This, whatever, that's probably good enough, right? That's probably good enough. Ah, yes, there you go. You got this one. It's literally her. So you can do 2 drawing streams. Anyone out here drawing right now? What if you were to draw? Have you considered drawing? Wait, why did I make this front facing? Why don't I make this facing the one side, huh? What am I doing? She could be facing the right side. She could literally be like, it could be like, oh no, what has she done? What have I done? It could be like this, and then that looks good. If this hand was not there, and we simply had perhaps like this, and then perhaps this one is like this, and then what? And what if this was, how do I move things? By doing this, obviously. This is what everyone's here for. You tune into the web fishing stream, you get art. Wait, why can't I move this thing specifically? Why can't I move? I would have to copy it and paste it. But how do I paste it in such a way that it goes exactly where I wanted it to? Alright, I guess I'll just redraw it, you know. Perhaps I will simply just redraw it. Alright, so you got this one, right? You got this one right here. Have I messed up? It was pretty good the way it was. I think I've messed up. How did I do it? When I had like my other art, the other Wolfie art that I had, that I also made in Pico 8, it didn't look like this. What did that look? Did I draw this in the wrong place again? What are we doing here? Oh, is this, wait, what is this? What is this? Anyway, what's everyone doing besides watching this stream? Are you all being productive right now? What's the deal? I messed up playing Chrono Trigger. You were replaying Demon Crawl. I've played that game. I remember Demon Crawl. That was a good time. You were at work right now. Working hard or hardly working. Am I right, guys? Alright, that's literally Haru Urara. Right, that's her. And then you have a second frame. Copy this one. This will be one where she's running. It's going to be like, this is going to be the second frame of the animation. The leg is here. And then I've edited the wrong frame. I meant to edit this frame. But you know what? That's fine. Copy the same one here. And then you have... Whoops, I pressed the wrong thing. Make her cry? Why would you say that? Why would bro even say that, man? Actually fricked up that he would even say such a thing. You know, a lot of artists do draw that. A lot of artists, they draw Haru Urara losing and they're like, oh, why am I'm crying, I'm having fun, but why am I crying? I've seen at least like 5 images like that. Why would you make her cry, dude? Why would they do that? What if this one was orange? Rip Ozzy, welcome El Vincenzo. Is that related somehow? Was he also a horse? Ozzy Osbourne? More like Ozzy Oz, opposite of Bourne. Am I right? That's okay. I don't really know too much about him. More like Ozzy Oz dead. Is that disrespectful? Do we have any fans? Wasn't I talking about drugs? No? What was I saying? What was I saying that could have been interpreted as being about drugs? Ozzy. He's not even Australian. Volume was low. You don't want to know, dude. You don't even want to know. He doesn't even know. Okay, this is the running animation. Goes from here to here to here. It doesn't really work because this color is the same as this color. It's a bit hard to get things to work in 8x8. Maybe it's fine. You know what? Maybe these 2 frames are fine. No, I don't think that's true at all. I don't think it's fine. What if we just don't have an animation, huh? What if we just copy this frame and simply just not do that? What if the arm was actually... I just don't know. That's my problem with Pico 8. So when you have two things that are too close, you can't quite easily... What if this was yellow? What if our arm turned yellow to not conflict with this? But then you can't really tell. Alright, whatever. It's just going to be this. This is Haru Urara. We have green. The green tile right here. Right there. And then we have the track. As we all know, the track is brown. Perhaps remove one leg in one frame and the other. No, but what about her arms? Dirt, yes, she does run on dirt. That is in fact her specialty. We just have several dots here. The dots indicate that this is dirt. Arms stay the same. I will consider it. Alright, we got the grass. We got the darker grass, perhaps. Whoops, what did I do here? As you all know, we got this grass here. I should copy these over. It's gotta be this. Go to the map editor. Draw a little field. And then we gotta draw some, whoops. Gotta put some grass in there. Sometimes. Wait, where's the thing that tells me where levels start and end? Isn't there usually like a thing? Where's that thing? I don't even know. Okay, we got the grass track right here. Sorry, the dirt. Literally the dirt. All right, and then you gotta have the starting line and the finish line, right? How do they mark those? It's literally, you gotta have perhaps a checkered thing, you know? They don't have the checkered thing in real life. But in here, perhaps it makes sense. So you have the dirt. You have like a little, a marker perhaps, a little ending thing that's like, this is the finish line. It's like gray, it's like a sign. Perhaps. We gotta have green. All right, then you go here and then you say it's literally, you know, this is the line right there. And then you zoom in. This is the real game right here. This is Uma Musume Ugly Derby Pico 8 edition. Wow, look at that. Alright. And then you gotta have Haru Urara. Okay, I have not written Pico 8 code in a long time. I forgot, was it def? No, it was function. Function init function draw and then function update. All right, so we got player, we got a position, right? You got X. How does this work? X equals, I don't know, 50. Y equals 50. All right, on draw, you gotta say clear screen. You gotta have sprite sprite number 1. The position is player. I should just call this P because that's what you do in Pico 8 is you shorten things. P. Maybe PLYR for player. Okay, then you run the game. How do I run the game again? If I may, what is your day-to-day related to coding? Yes, I am a software engineer. Specifically back-end software engineer, unrelated to game development. Alright, how do we play the game? I have forgotten already how to run a Pico 8 game. Pico 8, how to run. I already searched for this. How do you run the game? Oh, it's Control R. Okay, we have not drawn the background though. You gotta do tile. How do you call it? Map. Oh shoot, she's literally there. Okay, and then we've drawn the map. And then you have on update. Input. So you say if, I should just call this P instead of PLYR. P equals this. This is brain math stuff? No, it's actually quite simple. How do you do Pico 8 input? Detect input. Button. It's a button. So you have if you have pressed up, then P dot Y minus equals speed. We gotta have speed. Speed equals, I don't know, 1 or something. I thought Pico 8 was chill. You're basically, it literally is Lua. It's a dialect of Lua. P dot speed. And there was like a shorthand for this, right? Pico 8 if else shorthand. If then, there's a way to do it in one line. If condition code. Okay, you have if condition code. Py minus p speed. If button down py plus equals p dot speed. If button left player dot x minus equals this. I could, if I was in Vim, I would simply be copying this right now, but I'm not. My keybinds are inefficient because I just don't know. It's not because we're not actually calling this. Right, you gotta be calling this. Oh, it's Haru Urara. She's moving. She's literally moving around. Okay, then you gotta have a flag for flip. False. Flip is false. If you have pressed this thing, then if you're going to the left, then player.flip equals true. If you have this thing, then oops, it's false. Oh shoot, she's not flipping. because we have not actually called the flip. 1 1 and then p dot flip. Betrayed Godot for this. It's actually so easy. Oh my gosh, he's moving. Look at how easy it is to have Pico 8 work. If this was Godot, I would have had to make a sprite sheet. I would have had to load some things. She's literally running. She's flipped. That's Haru Urara. She's running right now. How is this possible? She is literally in the game right now. And then you can increase her speed, perhaps. You can have speed equals 2. Oh shoot, she's zooming. Speed equals 1.5, perhaps. Oh my god, she's going. She's literally moving. And now we gotta, now what? Now you gotta have the camera follow her, right? The map has an offset. Pico 8 map. What the, what the heck is this? Vernon, New Jersey, 8 Pico CT. Map. Cell X, cell Y. We gotta have camera. Camera X and Y. We gotta have the camera be relative to the player's position. And map. It's gotta be cell X and cell Y. So it's gotta be player.x minus. What's the Pico 8 screen resolution? 128 by 128. Okay, so it's 64. Note that I'm hard coding 64 in here. Oh, what the frick? Holy frick, she's going. No, we have to, how do you, there's like a camera, right? Chat field. Oh, there's a camera function. Okay, no, that's okay. Camera. Okay, it should not be map. You should just call map here. And this should be camera. Oh, okay. Yo, she's zooming. She's literally zooming. Look at how fast she's going. Speed, maybe 2. Oh my god, she's going. She's so fast. She's literally so fast. She is unstoppable. Literally no one can stop her. There's actually no one else even in the race. But that's fine. Because she is trying her best. And that's really all that matters. Can she win though? Yes, she's already winning. Got Haru Urara on the line. She's swinging Maestro. Oh my god, swinging Maestro. Cornered recovery. She has achieved home stretch haste. No one else is even close. They're not even close right now, bro. Oh my god. Okay, maybe we should have an animation. We probably should have an animation. Okay, so we have this frame. We have the second frame. It's gotta be running. So, alright, so we gotta have this. And then what? What if her arms simply disappeared? What if she did not have arms? You know, what if this was the kind of game where it's just like this? And then we do the same thing here. And you simply just like this, or like it was like this. And went from here, here. We should copy this one. Okay, so you start off, it's like this. She will never fish, it's fine. Actually, fine. Frame starts off at 0. And then what? You gotta have frames. Frames. You gotta have it's gonna be 1, 2, 3, 2, right? Those are the frames. You go from frame 1. Now you should start off on frame 2, then go to 3, then go back to 2, and then go to 1. I'm gonna have a value for FPS. I don't know what a good value is, maybe 6. And then frame index. What do I call this? I don't know what to call this. Frame index. Frame index 0. We could have time elapsed. This could simply be time elapsed. And then frames is simply the time. Oh, but then this should only happen when you're running. Welcome, Brooke. I should probably menacingly approach my bed. Why menacingly, though? Why even menacing? Okay, player velocity. We should maybe have velocity. Instead of simply updating player speed, what if we had velocity? Velocity X. Wait. What if we had dx dy, and then at the start of every frame, player.dx is 0, player.dy is 0, and then this one, player.dx, player.dy. That actually makes it simpler, because then you could set flip based on dx. Have you considered this? I need to find some clothes that can get dirty. I will help a friend set up his apartment tomorrow. Yeah, good luck with that. Welcome, Pamphlo. I hope it goes well. Alright, so we have this. And then we have... we should also change these because they are in fact a dy. So then we have input, and then we have player.flip equals player.dx equals, well, is so it should be flipped if it's less than 0. But if it is 0, you should use the existing value. If p.dx equals 0, if it's not equal to 0, then end. Let's just test. Things have broken. Unexpected symbol. Oh, because, alright, this is not how Lua does tables. It's actually this. Okay, she is stuck because I've not actually applied movement. Okay, so then on movement, player.x plus equals player.dx, player.y. Okay, so it still works. We should have player.frames frame index. Right. Frame equals this thing right here. Oh, that's the wrong frame. Frames of frame index. Right, because Lua tables start at frame index 1 for some reason. Why do they do that? What are they doing? I can't believe this. And then if player's movement is not 0, if player.dx or player.dy, then it's not equal to 0, or dy is not equal to 0, then you must adjust the frame index. Now you must have a timer. What do we call this? Move timer 0. And then what? Pico get elapsed time, perhaps. Time. As time since last started. Calling it multiple times in the same frame. It's a game loop. Isn't it strange that in Pico 8 you have to implement your own animation? It's not built in. You would have to have your own thing. Should store once per frame. Okay, time elapsed. Gotta have a delta, right? Animation. So we got what do we have? What do we have here? Last time is 0. And on every frame. What if we just hard code in a value, huh? What if we simply had plus 1 over 30? So then we have player dot move timer. Well, hold on. If you have it as 0, then player.move timer is 0, else player.move timer plus equals 1 over 30, and then you gotta set the frame. Alright, player.frame is equal, whoops, player.frame timer divided by FPS. What did I say? Yeah, player.fps. Frame timer modulo FPS. Is that a thing? That's probably not right. Attempt to perform arithmetic on field frame timer a nil value. Frame timer. It's move timer. I should have this be frame timer. Frame timer. Oh shoot, what happened to Aurora? What is she doing? It's got to be plus 1. Wait, how do you do modulo Pico 8 animation? This is such a basic thing. Like this. Table 5 number values, print table 1, how the turn tables. It's the last number, object plus equals something, making bold. What are they doing here? What the heck? Right, animating sprites. These are some animations. You have a player update. They're doing a player update script. That's crazy. Animation index plus equals 1. Start with the first frame, reset the timer. Time plus equals 1. Current frame has been on screen long enough. Bro, that is crazy. They're coding in animation transitions. They got a next frame, the current frame, next frame, reuse frames, walking frames. This is quite complex, actually. Animation index. You get the number right. This is how you get the length in Lua. It's by simply doing this. What if I printed frame? It's nil. Frame is not actually set. P frames. Frame timer mod, and then you gotta add 1. 2 nil. 2. It goes to 2. Then why is it nil? Because you got a math.floor, right? Is that the thing? Pico 8 floor. It's probably just, yes, FLR. It's FLR of this. And then let's set the frames per second to be, I don't know, like 12 perhaps. She's not actually going. Why is she not going? Frames. Welcome Chicken Coop Enjoyer, thank you for 37 months. Frame timer. Modulo FPS. I should perhaps be flooring this here, and then I should be doing this. No, it's not working. Such basic functionality. Frame timer. DX0, then frame timer equals this. What if I just add 1? Oh shoot, she's dying. She's literally dying. It should be floor frame timer mod F. Oh no, it should not be mod FPS. It should be mod number of things. It should actually be divided. This should be, what does Pico 8? Pico 8 has division, right? Integer division. I believe it's 2 backslashes. What is, does anyone know Pico 8 integer division? Guide operators. Division. Pico 8 integer division. I'm pretty sure this was a thing that existed. Backslash. Backslash is used for integer division. Backslash. Backslash, backslash. No, alright. Well. You know, let's do index. Index equals. Isn't this so complicated? You would think game dev is simple, and you are right, it is usually simple. But in this engine, you must do everything on your own, which makes it actually more complicated. So you want to have frame timer. I gotta do this. Okay, so that does something. And then frame equals player dot frames Okay. Floor, this is already floored though. So you gotta do this one, and then modulo player.frames. It's not working. Does anyone even know? Does anyone even know? Frame timer index +1. Interesting. Quite interesting that it does not work. What about this one? It never actually goes to 2. So frame timer divided by FPS would be 6. It would actually be the inverse of FPS. Is that true? Am I doing this all wrong? Frame timer. This is the time and then per second. It should actually be this. No, that doesn't make sense. That doesn't even make sense. So that is the frames. What am I doing? What if I just don't figure this out? Here, what if we simply just incremented the frame, huh? What if this was simply p.frame timer mod p dot mod p dot frames +1. Oh my gosh, she's something. She's running in some way. Oh, when you go left and right, nothing happens. It only goes when you go diagonal for some reason. Why is it only when you go diagonal? Oh, this should be an and. Oh my god. Look at how fast she's going. She's actually goated though. She's literally winning. She's unstoppable. Actually unstoppable. We could detect if she's on dirt, and she can go faster on dirt than grass. So let's see. You can get the player's tile. Pico 8 get tile at position. Map. Get sprite from map. M get column row. So let's see. M get player.x divided by 8. Player.y divided by 8. Tile equals. You have tile dot. You have tile equals. If it is tile number 61. Then velocity, what is it, speed? What did I call it? Speed, SPD. Speed equals 2, else. Alright, so if you're running on dirt, it's okay, it doesn't work. It simply doesn't work. Print tile. Tile is nil. Player.x column row returns sprite number. Why is that not even there? Print, let's remove this one. not even getting called. Oh, it's because this thing should not be there. Tile, was it actually 61? 61. This is 0. It's 61. Speed. dx and dy is plus equal to speed. Well, anyway, I guess that's going to be it. It's going to be it for today. We've done something. She's running. This has not been related to web fishing at all. Anyway, that's going to be it. Thanks for watching. I'm going to close the lobby now. I've been bouncing on this mushroom for a long time. I've not even realized. All right, thanks for joining. So let's take a screenshot. Can you stand right here, please? Okay, I'm going to screenshot right now. Literally right now. Up. Alright, that's gonna be it. Thanks for watching. Let's find out what day it is. Let's rate someone. Shut down. Yippee! Alright. We got, National Vanilla Ice Cream Day. Gorgeous Grandma Day. Peanut Butter and Chocolate Day. Sprinkle Day. Let's do Vanilla Ice Cream Day. National Vanilla Ice Cream Day raid. There's probably an ice cream emoji you can use somewhere. Alright, who do I raid? What the heck? Alyssa's streaming again? She's been streaming pretty late. But I've already raided her recently. I will send you over to... Who will I send you to? What about Karagi? Karagi_channel. /raid. Karagi. Need to drive. I can't believe this. Imagine driving. Couldn't be me. Anyway, the raid's going. I'll be back on Friday. I don't know what I'm doing on Friday. Not really sure. You know, it might be game dev, but I don't really have an idea. That fishing game that I was making, I don't really know what to make of that. I could consider working on that. I could consider starting a new game. What if I continued the Haru Urara Pico 8 game? I don't know. I could maybe do that. I could maybe do something else. I could make a Haru Urara game in Godot. I don't know. Some horse-related game. You will find out. She goes fishing for ryegrass. So true. You could donate fresh ryegrass to her right now. It's too much. She's gotten too much. Her energy levels are through the roof. She's already at max energy. You cannot improve it even more. It's actually a waste. Thanks for watching. Anyway, the raid's gone. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.